Hey, and welcome back to another episode to make you a peak signing agent. On this episode, I want to give you some quick tips on how to create the best looking profile for signing services to hire you. All right. But real quick, I want to take a quick second just to give a shout out to people who have recently had me on to their podcasts and shows. So the Business Shower Events, they recently had me on one of their episodes talking about my signing service and then me in general. Also, give a shout out to the Loan Signing Hustle podcast. Brett had me on one of his episodes, and he'll eventually come on one of our episodes here as well. So check out the Business Shower Events podcast and the Loan Signing Hustle podcast. And then I also want to give a shout out to Mark Wills of the Loan Signing System. He recently had me on and did a training on the most common errors made by notaries. And so if you're in the loan signing system and you're at least in the six-figure group, then you will have access to that re-recording anytime. That will be in the training program. So shout out to all those three who recently had me on. I appreciate all of you so much. All right, now let's talk about creating the best profile that signing services will want to look at your profile and want to hire you. Now, when I get an order, and let me just kind of explain real quick the differences between signing platforms and signing services, because there is a difference between a signing platform and a signing service. I know I've mentioned these, but it's always good to just kind of recap and help remember. And repetition is a key whenever you are in business. So signing services like my own, or any other signing service, or even maybe a title company or a mortgage company, when they're looking for notaries, they usually will use a signing platform. And the platform, and you probably will know this because you've signed up with platforms, but platforms are going to be like Signing Order, SnapDocs, Signature Closers. These are just maybe some of the most common signing platforms. And any signing service, any mortgage officer, any escrow officer can sign up on these platforms to help them find notaries. And I use one of these platforms. So when one of my customers, one of my escrow officers, or one of my loan officers, when one of them reaches out to me and says, hey, I need a signing completed, then I have to go find a notary. And so I use the platform to help me find notaries, because a lot of notaries will sign up for these. I just named some of these companies off to you, and they probably sound very familiar to you because you probably signed up with them. But what are us signing services looking for when we're looking to find a notary? Well, I'm going to tell you what we're looking for, and I'm going to give you the best tips to make your profile stand out than the others. Because what happens is, like on the platform I use, when I put in like a location, the signing location, it will pull up a lot of notaries. And at the top will be notaries that I have used in the past and that I have marked either approved or preferred. Those are at the top of the list. And what happens with that is it kind of goes through. So it'll send a text message out, and you've gotten these text messages. It'll send a text message out, and we see the responses. So if you say, yes, I'm available, we get the notification, hey, this notary is available. If you hit no, I'm not available, we see that. There's a color code that happens. Or if you say, I'm available, but I'm going to counter. I'm going to either counter a different time, or I'm going to counter a different price. And we see those things. So if I put out there, a refinance, and I put $100, I think from a signing service standpoint, that's a good amount of pay, depending where you're located. I know some places they charge a little bit more, but I think from a signing service standpoint, that's a good pay. I like to pay notaries pretty well. Now, if you counter and say $300, you obviously are not going to get the job, but I'm going to kind of look at your profile a little bit and say, why does this notary think they deserve 300? Are they just kind of being a smart ass? They're like, oh, this is ridiculous because this is, 30 miles away. Hey, we do not, as signing services, we do not control that. If you put in the platform and you signed up, if you said I work in a 40-mile radius, then you're going to be included in something that's 30 miles away. All right. And so we're not controlling that. We're not saying, oh, we're just sending out there. We don't control who it goes to. It just goes in order. So for whatever reason, you might be towards the top of the list, or a lot of people have already just dismissed that signing opportunity, and it got to you. If you put $300 down, and I put 100, either I'm thinking, okay, you're being a smartass because you don't understand the system and you don't know that I don't control. I didn't directly request you. It just kind of got to you. So either you're a smartass or you're someone that thinks you're worth way more than you are, and I'm probably going to blacklist you. You know, like I don't even want notifications to go to you. You're just going to be a waste of my time. You're just going to always off. You're going to counter way too high. So I don't know if you're being a smartass, or I don't know if you're just think you're way too good. And not a good idea, okay? Not a good idea to be a smartass or just think you're worth way more than you are, all right? Or just ignore it. You can just say, you can hit no. You can just hit no if that's not interesting to you. So those are just some things. This is kind of how it happens, all right? So anyway, signing services, mortgage companies, escrow companies, they use signing platforms to find notaries. And then the message goes out. So when I look for a notary and the message goes out, then you have the opportunity to respond to that text like I was just talking about. You can hit no, not a big deal. It's not like it goes against you if you hit no. You can counter. So if I put $100 and you're like, well, it's kind of out of my way, I'll put 120. That's fine. You still might get it, you know, because maybe someone else is not available or other people are just not around. You still might get that. It's not a problem. Or you can counter. You can just say no, or you can accept it. All right, so those are your three choices that when it comes your way. Now, what we do, my signing service, we're a very proactive signing service, meaning we don't wait around. We get very proactive. We get on top of things. We call all sorts of different things like that. So when you get the job, or if you respond to the job, we look at your profile and we pre-vet our notaries, and then we call and vet the notaries. So what does that mean? That means we kind of look at your profile before we even offer the job to you. Like I said, we're very proactive. We don't just hit the, you know. So what a signing service could do, they can just hit the text message, and it just kind of goes in order, just starts sending texts out. And I think every 30 seconds it sends another text to another notary. It just keeps going until we accept a notary. That's what a lot of signing services do, but we're a proactive one. So we actually pre-vet the notaries. We look at their profiles first. And then when we accept a notary to do the job, we actually then call that notary and vet them again over the phone. It's like a phone interview. I know a lot of signing services do this because they want to make sure they're getting high quality notaries going out to the jobs. So this is what we're looking for. When we look at someone's profile, some of the things that we're looking for, hold on, let me get my notes out here. Here's some tips for you guys to have the best looking profile to stand out. Number 1 is have a picture. So many notaries don't even put pictures of themselves up, or they put a picture of like the NNA logo, like that they're trained and certified or whatever. I don't care for that. I want to see the person that's going out. I want to make sure that they have like a professional look to them. So I don't care if it's not, you don't need to hire a professional headshot photographer to do these for you, okay? You can, there's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong. But it's totally fine if it's just like you standing by, a tree, like in the outdoors, and you're wearing, a suit, or you're wearing a nice dress, or something professional. That's fine. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be the best headshot. It can even be like a plain white background behind you. As long as you maybe have a good look to you, like your hair's done nice, you have a nice smile. These are key things that I'm going to be looking for. If you don't even have a picture, I'm not hiring you. And I know a lot of signing service owners will not hire someone that does not have a picture. Now, if I see somebody that has a picture and it's like their bro pic, like they're in the gym and they have like a tank top on, and then behind them I can see a sink and a toilet from the gym bathroom, I'm probably not going to send that person the job because they just don't seem like they're taking this serious. Like they're not being professional. That's not a professional picture. Now, again, I'm not expecting anyone to go out and hire someone to do headshots. That's fine if you do, but I'm not expecting that. If it's just a picture of you wearing something nice and with a nice smile and a decent background, then I know you take this job seriously and you're on my radar. I'm very interested in you. All right. So number 1 is have a picture. Have a picture up. Number 2, have some information about you in your profile. Do not put an essay. Do not put a book report about you. Don't copy and paste something that you saw in a script. I can tell. I've read these. and I can tell they're just copy and pasted from a script. All right, it just looks tacky. But you don't want a long story. I don't want to know I don't want to know your whole life story of everything like that. Here's some information. You want something quick and informational about you that sets you apart. So if you want to introduce yourself, hi, my name is Derek. I service, this area. I've been a signing agent for this amount of time. Here's some key things to put in there. And I know I've talked about this in another episode, but I'm just gonna again reiterate, and repetition is important. So if you're a full-time signing agent, put that down. That's an important thing. I'm a full-time signing agent. If you have a mobile office, that's a key part too. If you have a mobile office, I know you can print on the fly if things come last minute. So these are just things you can put in there. If you've done thousands of signings, say I've done over thousands of signings, but say things that set you apart. Don't lie, but say things that set you apart. So for example, if you can say, I've done over thousands of signings. I've been a full-time signing agent for 2 years. I don't make mistakes, and if I make mistakes, I'll be the first one to fix it right away for you. These are just things that just comfort the signing service that the notary we hire is going to take the job seriously and do a good job. These are just things that comfort us. Other things you can put in there is I'm experienced in whatever, refinances, seller packages, purchases, HELOCs, reverse mortgages, whatever you have experience in, write those down. Write those down. And you want something simple, something just a paragraph, maybe 3 or 4 sentences, something simple about you. You don't need to say, I've got, 3 kids and a dog. Like, you don't need to get personal. No, we want to keep this professional. So these are just things you want to put in there, being professional, that sets you apart. So people think, oh, this is the notary I want to hire because of whatever it is. Right? Whatever sets you apart in your profile. So make something simple, make it easy. So for example, in my profile, because I have profiles still out there from when I was just a signing agent with signing services. But what I put on there is I had something like, hey, my name is Derek. I live in the Salt Lake area. I service all the surrounding counties. I've been a full-time signing agent for 4 years. I'm very experienced with refinance, purchases, seller, HELOC, modifications, reverse mortgages. If you hire me, I'm the best notary you can hire because I don't make mistakes. And if I do, I'll be the first one to go correct it right away. And I drop off documents right away, and I'll stay in constant communication with you. Like, these are things that I would write in my profile to kind of help me stand apart from all the other signing agents out there. If you're bilingual, write that down. I also wrote that I have a mobile office. So if you need last minute corrections, you need documents last minute, I can get those printed for you. If you need scan backs, I have a scanner. I can scan back to you right away. Like, these are things I wrote in my profile to set me apart, so that signing services will look at my profile and want to hire me. All right. So that's something you want to do. So again, you want a nice looking picture. You want a quick, informational background about you. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but it just started raining right now in the mobile office. It kind of sounds cool. Hopefully it gives some nice ambiance to it. It's crazy. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see I'm wearing a jacket. Last week when I did the podcast, it was 90 degrees. Today it's 45 and raining. Who knows if it will snow. It's crazy weather. It's great. All right. Here's some more things to add to your profile. Again, and if you have training, like if you have NNA training, if you have loan signing system, Notary to Pro, Sign and Thrive, whatever it is, if you've got some training as well, put that in your bio as well. That just looks good. I've done training through this. Now, if you're thinking, all right, Derek, I have only done maybe 2 signings, or I haven't done any signings yet. What can I put in my profile? So hopefully you have done some type of training, all right? Hopefully you have, because that helps. So if you've taken the NNA, if you haven't taken any other courses, the course I recommend is the loan signing system. And in the description, I have a link there that you can use my affiliate link if you want to sign up for it and take the course. I think it's a great course. Plus, with that course, you also get invited to the Facebook group. And that is a great environment. There's so many people that will help you. If you have a question, you can post it there. You'll have people respond back to you and help you give you answers. It's a great environment to be a part of. That's why I recommend it. But anyway, if you take one of those courses, take an NNA course, take another course, and so you say, I'm a newer notary. Like, again, don't lie. So, because they'll see the experience. You put your experience, they can see your experience. I'm a newer notary, but I've done trainings through this and this. Or if you've done a refinance, if you've done a purchase, if you've done a seller package, right on there. I have some experience with refinances and purchases. So you're not lying, but you can say what your experience. But you don't need to say I've only done two. You don't need to say that, but you can say I've done refinance packages, I've done purchases. So you can write what you have done, and then again in your bio put any training courses you've taken. Now, when we look at people's profiles, we look at their pictures, we look at their little description. We also look at their email address. Make sure you have a professional email address. Do not put your personal, like Derek the Dragon Slayer at yahoo.com. All right. Don't use that email address as a professional email address. It just tells me you're not serious. You're not professional enough for this. Don't use that. All right. Create a free one. The email addresses are free. Even you don't need, you can put something like Derek the Notary, or just your name, Derek Van Otten, at Gmail or Yahoo, whatever it is. Derek Signing Agent, whatever, right? You can just create a free email address that's professional. It doesn't have to be, too elaborate. You don't need to buy a domain and have everything behind it. You don't need to do those things. You can just use a free email address, especially if you're just getting started. You can use a free email address to set it up. So have a professional email address. Put your phone number in there. I know some people use different phone numbers to kind of separate, this is my personal line or this is my business line. I know some of the newer phones have 2 SIM cards and you can pay an extra line. There's some free apps out there. Sideline, Google Voice, these are free apps that you can use to kind of just say this is a business line. And, that's fine. Or again, you can just use your personal line. But here's my tip. Have a voicemail setup. Nothing's more frustrating than when I'm calling a notary and it's just the automated computer. Hi, you have reached, and then the phone number. Please leave a voicemail. I don't know who I'm reaching out to. I don't know. Did I get the right number? I don't even know. Is this notary professional or not? Because they don't have a voicemail. They couldn't set aside 1 minute to create a voicemail. They're too lazy to just create a voicemail that they just use their own phone's voicemail setup. I mean, that just tells me you're not being professional. Like, you don't take it serious. Like, it takes a minute to set up your voicemail. It takes a minute. And you're too lazy to do that. Like, that's a big red flag for me. That the notary just won't even set up a voicemail. Or doesn't create a free email address that looks professional. Okay? So have a phone number, put your phone number there, but have a voicemail so that people know that when I'm calling, that I am calling you. You didn't put the wrong phone number in, or I didn't dial the wrong number. I want to know I'm actually trying to reach the notary. Because if I leave a voicemail, I'm like, hi, this is Derek from Peak Signing. This message is for, Jane the Notary. I hope this is you. If it is, please call me back. I have a signing available. Like, it's ridiculous. Put a voicemail. It takes a minute to have a voicemail. And have a voicemail that's also very short and sweet. So, like, if you're using your own personal phone number, like, hi, this is Derek. Sorry, I can't answer my phone right now, but please leave me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. What I would have when I use my own personal phone number, I would just say, hi, this is Derek. I'm sorry I can't answer. Most likely I'm with a client right now, but please leave me a message. Or you can send me a text. So that let the signing service know that, hey, I didn't answer, but it's probably because I'm with a signing. I'm in a signing or I'm in a closing right now. That's probably why I didn't answer. So leave me a voicemail. I'll call you right back, or send me a text. Because you know what? A lot of times I will text during my signings. I don't recommend you do that, but I would do that. Okay. Anyway, so something like that. That way they know they did reach me. Sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm probably with a signing, and you don't want me answering during a signing anyway, because you wouldn't want me to do that during your signing. But hey, you can send me a text, because I can easily respond, because they can send me a text. Hey, Derek, this is so-and-so. Are you available this day, this time? And I can just respond, yes. I can just text back, yes, thank you. And then they can give me the order, right? So they know I'm in a signing. So that's what I would do. Or even if you set up your own different business line, you can say something like, "Hi, this is Derek with Peak Signing," or "This is Derek the Notary. Sorry, I missed your call. Most likely, I'm in a closing or I'm in a signing right now, and I can't get to my phone. But if you leave me a voicemail, I'll call you right back." Or you can also send me a text, and usually I can squeeze in some time to text back right away. And it just sounds professional. They know they reached Derek the Notary. They know who they're trying to reach out to and talk to. They know I'm probably in a sign, so I didn't answer, but they can text me. I just left that door open for them for another way of communication, so we can get that signing in the calendar. So that's another tip for you guys. All right, this is some things you can do. Have a professional voicemail set up and so forth. All right, another thing, update your credentials. Meaning, make sure you have your error and omissions insurance. Make sure you have that in there. Make sure you have your W-9, your background check. Make sure all of these things are in your profile so that when they're looking for you, they see that. They can see, oh, all right, they have their background check done. They have their error and omissions insurance. They have their W-9. So for tax purposes, all right, this notary has everything updated. Because when I see things, it'll show me in the platform if your background's expired, if your E&O insurance is expired. Like, I see these things in your profile. So make sure you have all of these things updated. All right. Another note. Try to get positive reviews. I know I talked about this on another episode, but it is important because like I said, me and my scheduler, we pre-vet our notary. So we're looking at their profiles before we even offer it out there. So I look at profiles and I'm looking at, okay, does this notary, do they have signings under their belt? If I see a notary that has like 20 signings in the last 12 months, hey, that tells me they're active, they're busy. If they have 0, it's not a big deal because it shows like how many signings you've done in the last 12 months. Because maybe you're direct, maybe you don't use my platform as much, maybe you're on other platforms. So it's not like a deal breaker if I see that you've done 0 signings in the last 12 months. That's fine. But if I can see in the last 12 months you've done 0 signings, but you've got like 10 green reviews, hey, I'm still very interested because that means in the last 12 months you haven't done any on this platform, but you're still active, or you have been active on this platform in the past. Maybe you're busy because you have more direct business, or you're using other platforms at the moment, and that's okay. But you want to get positive reviews. You obviously don't want to get negative reviews. The platform I use, there are 4 items that I can see. I can see green reviews, meaning a signing service or escrow or mortgage. They gave you a positive review. So they gave you, like a green thumbs up, and they can write comments. This notary was great. This notary did that. So you can get a green mark. You can get an orange mark, meaning there was probably like a small error. Oh, this notary forgot to notarize the occupancy page, or they forgot to notarize the deed and they had to go back and do it and just kind of delayed things, but they got it done right away. Something like that. Orange marks are not a deal breaker. And then there's red marks. Red marks means you did a bad job. This signing service is not happy with you. They didn't like your professionalism. You try to change the price on them. You were late. Because some signing services, they actually reach out to the borrower and ask, like, do a survey. How was the notary? Did the notary arrive on time? Did they dress professionally? Did they explain the documents? Like, signing services do surveys sometimes. So, if the signers gave you a bad review, the signing service is going to give you a bad review. So other things we see on there, those are the most common. They missed a lot of things. They missed a lot of signatures. They missed initials. They were difficult to work with. They didn't communicate. That was a whole episode we did, right, about communicating. They didn't communicate. The notary didn't communicate with us. Didn't respond that they got our emails or messages. So these are things we see. These are deal breakers for us. If we see a notary is basically combative, like they're asking for, they counter with higher fees after they've already accepted the job. They went around the signing services back, like they went straight to title and complained to the title company. These are red flags for us. They didn't dress professionally. They didn't arrive on time. Like when I see these things, or they didn't show up. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many I've seen that the notary didn't even show up. I mean, these are deal breakers for us. We won't even send you the offer. We won't even send you the opportunity to accept the offer. We see red reviews. And the fourth thing that we can see is if you've been blacklisted. Blacklisted means a company never wants to work with you again. They blacklist you. Some signing services, when they send the messages out to notaries, they can actually mark a box that says, do not send notifications to notaries that have been blacklisted by other signing services. All right. And so you don't want that. Now, if I see someone, they've done, in the last 12 months, they've done over 100 signings, and one company gave them a red mark, or one company gave them a blacklisted them, that's not a deal breaker for me. Okay. You've done over 100 signings. Your mistakes happen. And one signing service just was not happy with your mistake. Maybe you had an off day. These things happen. These are not deal breakers for us. So, don't be alarmed by that. But the more positive reviews you can get, it kind of combats the negative reviews that you might have gotten. Especially, someone might have gotten, maybe someone has been doing this for 3 years and they've done thousands of signings. And in the very beginning, they made a few mistakes. So that's why they got some red marks. They made some rookie mistakes. And I know these things, right? Because I've been in the trenches. I've been a signing agent for many years. I know these things happen. So I don't get too upset about when I see some red marks, but they have a ton of experience and a ton of green marks. It just means maybe this was early in their beginnings. Maybe they had an off day. People are allowed to have off days, and that's okay. So you want to get positive reviews. And again, I've talked about this on another episode, but just to reiterate, once you do a signing, don't ask for a green mark right away. Don't ask for preferred status right away. Give it a few days. Make sure the title company has had ample time to receive the documents, review the documents, pass it on to the mortgage company, and everyone just seems fine. You haven't heard anything back. Then reach out to the signing service. Say, hey, I did this signing for you a few weeks back. I haven't heard anything, so I'm assuming everything went well. If you wouldn't mind giving me a green review, giving me a positive review, maybe marking me preferred in your status so that if any other signings come your way in my area, you think of me first. I greatly appreciate that. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Something professional. Don't expect them to respond back to you. If they do, great, but just don't have expectations. Just do it with the intent to, hey, I'm just trying to get green marks. I'm trying to get positive reviews. If you wouldn't mind helping me, I'd greatly appreciate it. And that just shows them how professional you are. So these are just my tips for you guys on how to create a great profile to set you apart from the other signing agents out there. Hope this helps you and blows up your business. Have a great one. Bye.